Happy Thursday, everyone. I hope you're doing amazing. Here's your weekly update. First of all, Paul, I think you have an event today. Do you want to talk about that one first?
I do. I have a very cool. Well, we have a very cool event today, which is with the Senegal government, which is the first sort of private sector, public-private partnership to issue Article 6 registered Article 6 credits with via a sovereign government with private sector partners. So our good friends at Carbon Growth Partners have partnered up with Alcott and which is the Swiss project developer, and the Senegal government to actually, let me just read exactly what they are working on. It's the first private sector investments to take financial risk of carbon projects and allowing a host country, in this case Senegal, to negotiate so-called international transferred mitigation outcomes, or ITMOs, under Article 2.6. And they're going to do this in terms of methane capture with the waste management division of the Department of Environment out of Senegal. And we've got the environmental minister with us on today, with representatives from Carbon Growth Partners and Alcott to talk about this, which is a world first, which is very cool. This will be sort of as cutting edge as you get in terms of carbon credits. We've alluded to the fact that the voluntary carbon markets have had some issues over the course of the last 12 months, but it's things like this that make it this is real. And it's going to be sort of the first of hopefully many of these ITMOs type deals, which are effectively private sector funding of Article 6 projects, which are government-backed projects in hopefully a slew of countries, not only in Africa but across Latin America and Asia as well.
Yeah, and it's actually I think it's our highest registrant amount outside of our forums for the year. So it's very, very popular. So tune in or watch the recording.
Be one of the hundreds of people who will attend this. It's going to be great. But McKenna, we also had Aurora Energy on talking about Aurora Energy being a leading hydrogen consulting firm, talking about sort of the next pathways, the next sort of infrastructure pipelines, etc. around hydrogen. How did that go?
Yeah, it went awesome. Dilara did an amazing job giving the whole lowdown on what's going on in Europe with all of hydrogen and the kind of transitions they're undergoing, and also the projections they see happening. And, she was saying one thing that was very interesting to me. And she was saying, despite conditioning and transport costs, imports can be cheaper than domestically produced renewable hydrogen in Germany by 2023. So these, imports are going to be just increasing on all accounts, and just the price curve, really, it was surprising to me as that changes. And then she also went into the different kind of other fuel sources. So, for example, Europe is really increasing their amount of green ammonia they're using too. So there's the huge market for maritime sector using ammonia, and she briefly talked about that change as well. So we'll be seeing a lot of different e-fuels that Europe's going to be adopting, and all of the trade routes and the implications that it means globally. Dilara did an amazing job overviewing that.
Which goes obviously back to to your the panel that you arranged yourself next week on sustainable aviation fuels and drop-in fuels. I mean, I'm a bit of a skeptic on the whole green ammonia thing and the green hydrogen thing, because, particularly the whole notion of using electricity to produce hydrogen to produce electricity, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But I think that, look, at the end of the day, we described this. I described this to someone at dinner on Tuesday night. When we looked to do we looked to do a hydrogen event last year. We looked to do a full day hydrogen event. We tend to do a little Google search before we set up one of these events to make sure that there's no competing conferences. We could not find a week in 2022 that didn't have, outside of Christmas and New Year, that didn't have a hydrogen conference. hydrogen conferences over Chinese New Year, over Thanksgiving, over 4th of July, over school, half terms in Europe, all this sort of stuff. Anytime, literally every week was full of a hydrogen conference, which makes me a little nervous that there's too much hype, that there's too much going on. But look, it's clear that the German government has gone all in on hydrogen. And we'll see.
Yeah. And, whether that be gray or blue hydrogen, we'll just see what color it turns out to be. But lastly, next week, like Paul said, we'll be having the scalability of sustainable drop-in fuels with Enviva Biomass, Gevo, Hexis, and the like. And then after that, Paul, what's our big forum coming up?
Sustainable finance. The gift that keeps on giving. 3 days again. We decided to keep going with our sort of three day extravaganzas, which look, it's the only way to do a deep dive into something as broad as sustainable finance. So 6 segments we covered over the 3 days, which is venture, project finance, insurance, ETFs, sustainable asset management, and green bonds. We've got I think it's 28 panels. 25 panels over the 3 days. So not as crazy as our past events, which I think we're going to start doing less of these sort of multi 12-hour events, because it's exhausting, and for us it's exhausting. For you, it's exhausting for everybody. So we've taken the sustainable finance and looking at very much these niche areas of sustainable finance in a more palatable way. So we've got panels on, the venture panels across many of our sectors, including ag sciences, software, etc., a slew of different areas. So over the 3 days, we've got, a wonderful array of speakers from many global financial institutions who are looking at the ways that they're doing transitions, and some case studies out of interesting organisations like Manulife out of Canada, which is looking at a deep dive into what the Canadians are doing from a regulatory standpoint around sustainable finance, which is in short a lot. So everyone, pre-registration, jump on climatetransform.com to register. It's going to be a fabulous event. So we'll produce reports on the back of that as well. So, McKenna, I think unless I'm missing something, you're still in Egypt having a great time, as you should be.
Oh yeah, I'll be in Giza this weekend.
Fair. Please send pictures. We'll put them up on the site and send them out on the Banter Chat. And everyone have a wonderful weekend. McKenna certainly will. And we will chat to you all later.
Bye.